Hello, fabulous superstar Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. It is going to be on the 6th of the month that we will have this month's full moon. This full moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life. And so this is your work life. It's the places you frequent. It also has to do with how well you take care of you and affirm healthy self-love in your smallest moments. This can be very powerful and important energy for you. It is somewhat idealistic and aspirational, though, and that is because Jupiter is standing across the sky from this full moon. And to me, that suggests a few things. One is it's possible that there is opportunity now. It's possible that you may overshoot the mark or in some way wish the opportunity was better in some way. It could be now that you realize some opportunity you actually do want. It requires a pathway. You may not be there right now, but you will get there eventually. It could be now that you're looking at how to take the best of care of you, wanting to make changes and trying to weigh your different options as to what are the best changes for you. It could be that there's some external advice coming at you where it comes to your health related habits, and you get to decide how much weight you're going to give that. There could be a sense of a more ideal way of being and taking care of you and way of feeling within yourself, and knowing that ultimately it's those small changes and the little things that you adjust that really can add up to very big differences, especially with energy like this. Now, ultimately, this is about being more conscious as you move through your day. I would also add, because this represents places and people that you interact with daily, this can also represent your clients, customers, coworkers, and immediate supervisors. There tends to be a lot of busyness when we have important energy like this. And so, yes, chances are there's going to be lots of interactions. Remember, with that Jupiter opposition, over promising becomes very possible, whether it's you to them or what someone else is telling you. So just pace yourself, stay measured to the best of your ability, but also understand that this is a real opportunity for you to make changes in all kinds of ways that align you with a more optimistic and fulfilled future when it comes to how you actually live your life, especially in the fullness of time. Now, as we navigate further on the 20th of the month, we are going to have eclipse season beginning with a solar eclipse. Now, we are sort of starting the tail end of the North Node in your sign. You still do have the North Node in your sign, but it is going to be as we step into the summer that the North Node will leave your sign, not to return for about 19 years or so. And the reason I mention this is because it is nodes that tend to be an intimate part of eclipses. Just like the nodes align you with some higher, more loving understanding, especially of yourself, because it's the North Node in your sign. It is eclipses that in one way or another in different areas of life do that as well. In this case, you are going to have an eclipse, and it's a powerful, concentrated energy in the sign just before yours. And so even though it's a solar energy, which has to do with new moon, which is new beginnings and new opportunities, it's also very interesting how this energy can speak to a more personal understanding on your part as to what chapters are closing as part of you living more fully. There's a sense of connection now and appreciation of all it is that you have yet to do in this lifetime, even if everything isn't so clear, at least not just yet. You know on some level that you will find your way forward. Now, this eclipse is hand in hand with Jupiter, but it's also speaking in somewhat of a conversation with Pluto of tension. So chances are there's a lot stirring within you, lots of emotions happening for you as well. So you want to be sure to take the best of care of you emotionally, getting enough rest, especially right around this eclipse time. But this can be an incredibly important time where you feel energetically important changes and shifts are taking place, which ultimately help you to appreciate that, yes, absolutely, there is a higher, more loving vision for your life. And as part of the mystery, as part of the realizations, and I would even say as part of some surprises, what you didn't expect coming out of nowhere, they all become part of that very important alignment with that higher vision for you. Now, especially fascinating to me is on the same day as the eclipse, we are going to have Mercury going retrograde in your sign. Mercury will be retrograde right into May. And so you will be traveling into May, further into May with Mercury retrograde in your sign. It's right around the 8th of the month that Mercury goes into shadow. This entire Mercury retrograde will be in your sign, which means that you're evaluating, you're reflecting, you're contemplating that much more deeply on whom it is you are, what you know to be true about you, what your identity is, what you want most and first, what your priorities are. So this can be an incredibly important time. It is a time that's going to stand out for you for a long time to come, but it's not a time to make a big life-changing decisions, especially those rooted in what you really want, because chances are you will see it very differently once you navigate forward, especially once we get you further into May. Once Mercury goes direct in the middle of May, that's really when you start to see that much more differently what it is that is happening within you and what it is that you really want. And so pace yourself, be yourself, as I like to say. But really, there's no rush in making big life altering decisions because once we get into next month, you just might change your mind. I should also add, we do have the luckiest day of the year this month happening on the 11th. This is where Jupiter and the Sun meet in the sky. When the luckiest day of the year takes place, it tends to represent a time of optimism and faith. It's energy you may want to work with consciously. However, in this case, it really is about going with the flow because this conjunction is happening in the sign just before yours, a part of the sky that has to do with what's happening on more karmic levels, connecting to faith, and again, connecting with that understanding that you have so much more yet to do in this lifetime, even if you don't know all the details just yet. The best and brightest opportunities are going to seem like they come out of nowhere. They're based on the good karma that you've reaped, the good things other people have been saying about you, the work that your spirit guides have been doing. Opportunity may just present itself to you, especially around those given days of the 11th, the luckiest day of the year. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it's going to be right until we have the luckiest day of the year that Venus is still in your sign. So the first days of the month tend to be incredible for welcoming in love-related opportunities. There's not a whole lot you need to do with Venus in your sign. You just being you, traveling this moment tends to operate as a magnet. So opportunities are there, loving moments are there as well. Once Venus moves on, Venus is going to move into a part of the sky that has to do with self-love, which tells me that love, romantic love and self-love become intimately tied. It's immediately right around the time that Venus changes signs, right around the 10th or 11th, depending on where you are on the planet. Venus will immediately move into supreme harmony with Pluto. I love this energy, I have to say. It's going to be an important moment in the context of affirming your worthiness to have the love you desire. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, what a remarkable time this can be. The first 10 days of the month really are that golden point, okay? So be yourself, navigate this time, knowing that love could just show up for you, or at least romantic moments. As we navigate further, right around the 11th is when you're likely to have a moment of insight, of understanding into you, whom it is you are, what it is that you feel you are worth of, where it comes to romantic love, where you've had it and where you haven't. This is a chance to not only find honesty, but also a spirit of transformation, whether it's through an external experience or by reflecting on where you've been. You are coming to an understanding very deep as to where you are in love and what it is that's worked for you, but what it is that will not work for you going forward from here. For those of you just starting to date someone, well, I love the energy the first 10 days or so of the month. So beautiful, so romantic, so inviting, right? So enjoy that. It looks like love flows that much easier. with this person or perhaps somebody new as well. But as we navigate further, I think there's going to be a real moment of truth in terms of where you are, in terms of self love, whether this person supports it or not. That'll take place right around the 11th of the month. So be open to that understanding because that could be a moment that is all or nothing, but in a way that brings you peace and understanding. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be. I love the energy in the first part of the month. Of course, you're feeling the love that much more. Once Venus changes signs, you may be feeling more generous in some way with your partner. It looks like you have it to give as well. The overwhelming majority of Taurians out there are likely to have some sort of a pep talk from their partner that affirms a healthy sense of self love for you, reminds you to hold yourself in higher esteem. For a very small percentage of Taurians out there, if you felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, this is where you're able to see it and appreciate it and connect with your own desire for change and consider what that might look like for you moving forward from here. Given all this very powerful energy in the sign just before yours that has to do with fortunate closures, because almost simultaneously we do have the sun meeting Jupiter in the sign just before yours. Well, chances are, if you've known for a while that you need to make a change, this is where you're feeling ready to do it. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say, look, the luckiest day of the year, it is the star of the show in many ways. It is the sun meeting Jupiter in the sky. It's in the sign just before yours, which tells me that really the best stuff is just going to show up seemingly out of nowhere. This is energy of fortunate karmic closures, but also karmic reward. But it really becomes about trusting your life and trusting what a higher, more loving vision for your life could be, knowing that it will be revealed and will be experienced that much more fully now and moving forward from here. I also want to say, trusting the wisdom. There's a storm going on outside, and I trust that that is a part of the wisdom of this time for you, especially you get to enjoy the storm in Rio. It'll be a great month. Enjoy. Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there.